We acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we record this podcast.
Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
This episode, leading on from last year's. Leading on from last week's episode all about having a digital detox, we are going straight back into digital, but focusing on apps that are useful. Mm-hmm. There are a whole lot of apps out there that just want to drain your time. Yes, you can use them wisely. If you listened to last week's episode, we spoke a lot about Instagram, a lot about TikTok. You can use them wisely, and you can use them not so wisely. These are some apps that you can use very wisely. Mm-hmm. I know that Mikaela has some good ones. I know that I've got some good ones. I've even got one that's probably not so good. I think. I can't remember.
But is it useful?
To me, yeah.
Well, then that's fine.
It's great. It's a great app.
That's okay.
And let's get straight into it. This is going to be a very helpful, quick Green Girls episode for you guys today. Do you want to start? Are you ready with your notes?
Sure. But my first one is definitely Fussy Vegan, and it's actually Fussy Vegan Pro now.
Ooh,
so
it changed.
Yes. It used to be free, and then you could all use that, and there was a paid version, which is a bit more fancy. But now they've upgraded to paid only, and I'm still including it in here because I think it is 100% worth it.
Yeah.
There's an app available for both Android and iPhone users, and it is $14.95. So it is
forever or per year?
That's it. One off.
One off, okay.
One off. So I was a bit like, because I remember I had paid for the $9.99 version, and then they came out and said, we're getting rid of that version, everyone has to upgrade to this version. And I was a bit like,
Well, it's a shame that you had to repay.
But I think it's worth it. So you won't be doing that now, because obviously they've got this one app. But if you look at their Facebook page and everything, they put so much work into it and so much time into it that I was like, this is worth it.
So what is Fussy Vegan?
So this is the way that they have told them. They said, this app has all the features of Fussy Vegan Plus, which was the original one I was talking about, plus additional features, so including vegan restaurants, vegan-friendly resorts, airport vegan options, airline in-flight vegan meal options, and vegan recipes. Wow. So it used to just be one that I would use to scan barcodes in the supermarket.
Okay, and that tells you if something's vegan?
Correct, but it also tells you if there's any other allergens. Do you have a product nearby that I could potentially scan?
Oh, well, I'll find one.
I'll show you.
Hang about. Lucky I keep a fridge nearby. Got a real big bag of oats for you.
Oats! Very good. That is a huge bag of oats.
I know, they don't often have the value
Holy moly.
stock, but they do.
So, you can hear the oats.
Definitely oats.
I bet you this won't work now, which is hilarious. Scan. Beep boop.
And you have to make that noise.
Yes, you have to make that noise, otherwise it doesn't work. Now, funny enough, this one is not on here, but what you can do, because they're so freaking good, you can actually reach out to them and they will contact the manufacturer and confirm if the product is vegan. So there's actually 3 levels I saw them talk about. There's if the manufacturer has confirmed it's vegan, if Fussy Vegan have confirmed it's vegan, or there's a third one that I can't remember. But they go super in-depth with it all.
Shall I try and find something else?
Try and find something else. So we've got...
So as far as I know, both these things are
Almond
vegan.
Breeze almond milk and Nuttalex buttery. The biggest thing of Nuttalex I've ever seen. So we're going to scan. And it comes up as vegan, which we already knew.
Yeah, it should be.
But it comes up with so many things of information. So it's got certified vegan, and it tells you who's certified it. It's also got ratings, so people can rate the product. It has all the ingredients, and it'll tell you too if any allergens are there. So for example, if you have a fish allergy or you're gluten intolerant or anything like that, you can set filters on the app so that you can scan things and instantly see if you can eat it.
That's so good.
So it's really cool.
So if you are like gluten-free as well as vegan, or you can't have nuts.
Correct. So it's not just for vegan people. It is for
That's so good.
everyone.
Try it with the milk.
one more. There's so much more information.
Okay.
So it also, if you scroll down, it says made in Australia from at least 87% Australian ingredients. It says that the company only sells vegan products and the company is animal testing free.
Wow.
Tells you the history when it was last updated. So super cool.
That is great.
So much information. So we'll
Yeah.
scan the almond
Yes, I have
milk.
chocolate almond milk.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. I want it. It is also vegan. We knew this. And it tells you that there are tree nuts. So
That checks out.
same thing. This product is made from at least 97% Australian ingredients. Company is animal testing free, but they do sell vegan and non-vegan products.
Mm-hmm.
And this was last updated on the 10th of March, 2022.
Well, so that's almost like a year old, that
Yeah.
information.
But if you had any
fine.
concerns, you can contact Fussy Vegan and they're on it. Then the other updates they've got, like, so there's the scan feature, there's also a search feature, so you can go through food chains, and there's not just Australia, like heaps. But if we go to Australia, for example, Baker's Delight, click on that, it'll tell me every single product from Baker's Delight, whether it's vegan or not vegan, and you can click onto the listings and it tells you ingredients, everything else.
That is so good.
It's so good. And I've only recently found out about the restaurants and the airline options and stuff. Like, there's even a vegan new vehicle guide.
What?
I don't know.
Oh, because of leather seats?
I've never seen that before, but there you go. We're learning.
Wow. That's crazy. That's wow.
Fascinating.
That's
So a Ford Escape apparently is green, which I assume means good things. But anyway, yeah, it's
wow.
one of my favorite apps. I definitely think it's useful, especially when I was first vegan, going through the supermarket and scanning products, especially because some companies will say it's vegan friendly and then you look at the back and it's like got milk and you're like, but what?
Yeah. Oh, I'm pretty sure we're both on the Friendly Vegans Melbourne page.
Yeah.
The amount of posts that are like, this thing says it was completely
Yeah.
plant-based and then has milk in it.
Yeah,
or milk
plant-
powder.
Based makes me so angry because it catches so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was explaining to someone the other day about all of these things that you expect to be regulated.
Yeah.
Like, basically, unless it's to do with your health,
It
like,
just doesn't matter.
it just doesn't matter. Yeah.
I know. But yes, for $14.95, it does sound pricey at first, but it is honestly so worth it. You can
Yeah.
scan products across multiple supermarkets. It's not just like Coles and Woolies. They've got Aldi products. And if you follow them on their Facebook page as well, they put updates out all the time, so you always know when they have nice vegan treats.
Oh, that's good.
So it's dangerous, but it's good.
I like it, especially if you're a new vegan as well. I think it just takes out so much of that stress of
Yeah.
finding out if there is something in Baker's Delight.
Uh-huh.
Like, I have been in there straining my eyes at all the different labels
Yeah.
and like going in and just asking, is this vegan? And
Yeah.
I know they must get that all the
I
time.
know.
I would much prefer.
Definitely. And you know what's so funny? I remember in the early days, you could go into Baker's Delight and ask them to print off the ingredients list for a particular product, and they'd print it off on the receipt paper,
Yeah.
and it would be this tiny little list, and you had to be like,
Oh my gosh.
And now you just go on the app and be like, oh, I'll have a coffee scroll, thank you, or whatever else.
Brilliant.
So, highly
What a-
recommend.
What a world we live in.
I know.
Alright, I'll kick you off with one of mine. The first one to talk about is Share Waste. It's a free app, and essentially it exists to help you compost. And so there are basically two different categories. One, you're someone that needs to compost but you don't have one. And the second is that you have a compost and you are willing to accept more.
Oh,
So more of a certain thing. Or like Share Waste has an app. It has a website, I think, as well. You can decide which one you are. So if you're accepting or if you're giving, and then you get a map. Essentially,
I
like
like
you can make
maps.
your profile. You get a map so that you can find out what's close to you, and everything has different codes, and so there's different colors. So if you are a compost acceptor,
a compostee, a
Yes.
composter.
composter.
I don't know.
If you have a compost pile
Yeah.
or collection of any kind, you can list that and you can list what you're accepting. You can list if you're a community project or a garden, so that comes up with a different icon. You can list if you've got chickens, so that comes up with a chicken icon,
Yes.
and that's important especially because, say you have scraps, you can't then give mouldy scraps because that can harm the
Course.
chickens, that sort of thing. And so you then go into extra detail about that. I like that because my goal of the year is still to hug a chicken.
Yes.
Oh, and you can list if you're a business or a coffee shop. So if you've got like grounds and food scraps that would need collection quite a bit, then you can list that to say, like, we have it, we don't have the time to give it to you, but if you need it,
Can't get it. Yeah.
A lot of people use coffee scraps because it's a really good composting material, and you can use it to make, like, coffee scrubs.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Oh.
So that's all really good, and a great tool for members who want to find a home for their scraps is not only can you directly message these people, but you can see how many connections they already have, so how many people are already donating to their pile to see if they will be willing to accept more.
Yeah, because of course you could be inundated and then be like, no more, thank you.
I don't know too much about compost, but I know that it can be fragile and that you need a certain amount of
balance,
types, waste, whatever it is, scraps. I feel like it was called like brown scraps and something else, green scraps, and you kind of have to tear them up. We need a specialist on.
I know. I feel like I looked into it when we got the worm farm, and now I'm like, I don't know. Just every now and then I sprinkle some soil and some like dry leaves or some paper, like shredded paper. They seem to be thriving. It did fall over.
Oh.
And then there was a possum or something that tried to get into it, but it was so well secured that they couldn't get the lid off, which was so exciting. My wormies were safe.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I don't know what it's called.
Alright.
Dry material.
Yeah, I know that paper's good. I know that food scraps are good. Sometimes people accept meat, sometimes they don't.
Oh.
So that's all really good things to find out. And a quick tip in case you are someone looking to compost that has nothing at home, literally the easiest thing you can do is to get a tub, stick scraps in your freezer, and then when you're ready, take that tub to someone. And you can use share waste to make that connection.
Ooh.
Very good. And actually I saw someone with a bokashi bin. The other day, they were like going through a shopping centre with the bokashi bin.
You're like, hello.
To go like donate it to someone. That's like,
that's so cool.
like seeing it in the wild.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's share waste, totally free. It is pretty much goable, so wherever you are,
That's awesome.
you can enjoy that.
Very good.
On to your next one.
Next one is another food-related one, and I think a lot of people would know this one. It's Happy Cow.
Happy Cow. I've used this one. I do have that one downloaded.
Yes. I used to use it just like online, but now I actually have the app and I have started adding reviews. But basically what it is, it's a vegan and vegetarian food map and community, and it is worldwide. So it's not just Australia, it's everywhere. So I recently used it last year when we went to Tassie, and also when I went to Italy. It was very helpful.
Great.
So I've got some photos and reviews of places that I went.
Question.
Yes.
In Italy, still in English?
Still in English.
Wow.
Yes.
That's great.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
But yes, it was in
The fact
English.
that you could actually read the menus and things.
Well,
or,
I think...
Or know what the vegan things were.
Well, yeah, the a lot of things were in English anyway, menu-wise.
Oh, that's good.
Which was really good. And a lot of the places that we'd gone to, I'd kind of sussed out beforehand. So very grateful for people's reviews. Like some of them were like, oh, there's, it's okay. There's not much in the area, so it's nice to have an option. And some people are like, this was so freaking good. I'd come back every day.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, that was really, really helpful. And you can, I'm just going to open that up again now to refresh my memory. But it is also a community. So you can have a profile. I am 67 points, whatever the hell that means, but there's people out there.
Rolling in points.
And it tells you, so if you go through and you can see people's reviews, say for example, when I was in Tassie, I saw someone had posted about something in Tassie, so I went to their profile to see where else they'd been.
Ooh, that's so good.
It tells you like where they've tried restaurants, what their favourite cuisines are, and then you can go down and have a look at photos. So like, for example, that's some of the ones that I found.
So
and
can people follow you on Happy
Yeah,
Cow?
people can follow you. And often I find as well...
Would you like people to?
Oh, no, it's fine. I don't post on there enough, but if you want to, it's Mikaela J.
Alright.
Woo!
You can work out how to spell Mikaela.
You can. But yeah, when you post on Happy Cow as well, it often goes to Google, which is really good because even if you just search vegan restaurants, it might come up.
Cool.
You can explore. So for example, this is where we are. You have lots of little icons.
Yeah.
I do not in my area, but that's okay.
Oh.
So each icon has a different meaning, and down the bottom you can go through, some are vegan, some are vegetarian, some have options, so you can filter it how you like.
Yeah, I see a lot of red icons, which means
it's got options.
Options.
You can also sort it by like when they're open. Say if you wanted to go get food right now, there's no point in looking at places that aren't open.
Yep.
You can see the distance it is from you and also ratings. So this one is free, which is awesome. It does have a social aspect that I haven't really used, so you can make friends if you want.
Do you pay for it?
No,
Okay.
I do not pay for it.
See, I feel like they've changed something about it.
Mm-hmm.
Where, and I'm interested to see the answer to this question in a minute, but I now feel like I get very annoyed on Happy Cow, and those annoyances would go away if I paid. It seems to not give me information unless I give it information.
Oh, okay.
And I don't mean like personal information, but I have to be very specific about where I want to find things, or it won't actually let me search.
Oh.
Like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like I need to unlock more. Maybe I should
interesting. So I use the app in terms of the map. Like, I'll just go in and have a look, and then you can search. In the top of it, you can search. So, for example, let me just try Milan. And then it will open everything in Milan. So maybe, I don't know. Or you could also use it on Google. You could search Milan vegan restaurants Happy Cow, and it'll come up with listings.
It's got unlock filters, and then to access venues worldwide, filter and sort by your preferences, save favorites and plan trips, join the global vegan community.
$5.49. Wait, show me what page were you on?
I was just on the page that it opens me on.
Happy Cow.
It feels like you've got way more than me.
Maybe
because you did pay at some point.
I don't know. I take all of this back, but when I looked online, I've already downloaded it, so there was no option for fees. So possibly, like, let me know. Yours says $5.49.
Yeah.
So I may be completely wrong about saying it's free because I may have paid for it way back when.
Yeah, well, you can use it free, or you can unlock it for $5.49. And I don't know if that's every year or if that's forever.
That's so weird. I haven't paid for it. I don't know. But if you don't want to pay for it and you don't want another app, you can also just Google. Just Google whatever place you want to go, suburb, city, vegan restaurants, Happy Cow. And it'll come up as a listing rather than in the app.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
I've still definitely been able to use it. So
it's
like,
just not
I needed to find somewhere in Box Hill, and coming back from climbing the other day, I had to find somewhere on the way back from, where was I? The Grampians. And it was like the 3rd of January, and it was like, no one's open. Or, like, we're driving back at literally like 8 p.m. Like, now it's going to be open. But there were actually 2 places.
There you go.
And I managed to find them because of Happy Cow, like just using the map on my finger to like swipe and find them. They did close before we got there, but only because it was going to be like 9:30 when we got there.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. But it did still work in that respect, but there's things that would be easier, selecting preferences, saving things, that I think I would pay the $5 for.
Definitely, because I know that I can heart restaurants. So if I'm looking and I'm like, oh, I can't remember what that restaurant was, then I can go back into my list and go, oh, I liked this one and I liked this one.
I'm going to check if
I
can
must
do that.
have paid at some point, or maybe got in before it was paid.
Maybe. Yeah, see, I've just searched for my suburb and I can't do it. I think I need to turn on my location and it will just search around me.
Okay, yeah. My location, I think, is always on.
I would pay for it, but it sounds like, so this is my question, it sounds like what Happy Cow does is also now covered in
Fussy Vegan.
Fussy Vegan.
Yeah.
So do you find yourself using both still?
I use Fussy Vegan for scanning, just for convenience. Instead of me having to read ingredients, I can just go boop.
Yeah.
And I also follow them online because you get all the updates of the fun stuff. Or if something's status has changed, there's been a few things that I've been like, oh my gosh, it's not vegan anymore because they've changed a manufacturer.
Oh, that would suck.
So things you wouldn't otherwise know. Yeah. And then Happy Cow I'll only use if I'm trying to find a new restaurant. So I have specific uses for them, but I think you could use Fussy Vegan for both. I just haven't tried it yet.
Done that.
Yeah, but I still think it's worth paying the $14.95 just for the scan feature.
Yeah. The fact that it seems like you can get Happy Cow for like $5, Fussy Vegan for $15. Together, that's $20 to have all the vegan stuff at your fingertips. Yeah. That's not too bad at all, honestly.
Not at all.
But so does Fussy Vegan have the community profile side?
No.
Okay.
They don't. But that's fine. That's not something I was originally interested in. I think if you're newly vegan, it would be a good thing because you might be able to find people in your area that want to try new places.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on your social aspect as well. Some people like meeting new people like that, and some people don't. So that's
true.
totally fine.
Yeah, and I guess there are plenty of Instagrammers who basically do that. Like, I'd be excited to see if Mon's losing my vegan virginity on Instagram. Like, I follow her for the vegan food.
Yeah.
Because she has just great taste in vegan food. She's always trying new stuff. She's baking stuff. Like, she's got great recipes. And if she had Happy Cow, I would follow her.
Well, that's right. Maybe she does. Maybe we don't know.
I will find out.
Let us know.
And if it's there, it'll be in the show notes.
Very good. Well, I like all these questions. It's the more you know.
Alright, I'll hit you with my next one. And this one has changed a little bit. So, this one is called Olio. I re-downloaded it, and when it began, I think it began in the UK, they marketed themselves as a place to put stuff for free. Usually it was free food so that it wouldn't go off, but you could also then tap a different one that was like basically divided into food and not food. So you click on not food and it would be someone's giving away a lamp or a table, a magazine, anything like that could be on there. They've added to it since then. So you've got this like where you can get stuff or give stuff away, but there's also a tab for wanted. Yeah, so anything you want, similar to FreeCycle if you've ever used that website. Kind of same thing. I don't know if they've ever had an app.
I'm going to download this one right now.
Yes, Olio. But Facebook Marketplace kind of does this. Like, people do give things away for free, but quite often it's not really free.
It says free, and then it's like $50. Message me for prices.
I know. It's like 5 things with different prices. So Olio is all for free. It has a map as well, so that you can see if things are going on nearby. Like, I literally joined yesterday, and it said there were 62 Olioers near me.
Oh my!
Unfortunately, they didn't have anything listed.
Oh.
So I don't know how well it's doing necessarily.
Okay, yeah.
I might need to bring it back. So they've got the, like, giving stuff away. They've got the wanted section. They also now have a borrow section.
Oh, what?
So if you've got, like, a tool or a tent or something that you don't need it all the time, people need it for, like, a couple of hours or a couple of days, you can borrow it from a neighbour.
Wow.
You can borrow it from nearby. You can put your stuff that would otherwise collect rust up on there. It could be like a lawnmower or something. And people can then just borrow it. And that to me sounds really cool.
That does sound really cool.
There are like tool sheds and like toy libraries. Most of them that I know about are on like the complete other end of Melbourne to me.
Yeah, nothing close, of course.
Very annoyingly. And if Olio can therefore do that like borrowing thing and it's on an app, that sounds
I
great.
don't think I've ever heard of that concept before. That's really interesting.
It's really good.
That's cool.
And they position themselves now as the #1 sharing app. And they say, why buy when you can borrow?
That's great.
And yeah. So I looked at what was near me, and all that came up was like a bit further away, but there was a massage ball and teriyaki stir fry and marinade sauce. Okay. One last thing about Olio. Another new like fun thing they added is a goals tab, and they kind of put it up a bit like Tinder, where like you can swipe yes or no.
Yeah.
And so they have, I guess, cards, and I think they cycle around. I'm not too sure, to be honest. But it'll have a different goal on it. And so, for example, they had one that was like, read a certain book. But the one I really liked was a goal of making a, like, to eat or to use shelf.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah. And it literally, 42,000 people said they would participate in that. So like, yep, a shelf with all the stuff you need to eat or use up, make sure that you use. I was like, that is a great idea. Literally just have the stuff, write, eat me, or something on it.
That is so smart. We have, now that we've got a big fridge, we've got like the big vegetable crisper and like the little one. And I've put all of the older veggies in the little one and all of the new ones in the big one. I said, use the little ones first because sometimes you forget about the lonely little cucumber.
You do.
Which turns into mush down the
Goes
bottom.
a little wrinkly.
Gross. And then I have a shelf in the... It's probably like 2 months ago. I got really, really bored and wanted to do something. I reorganized the pantry and put labels on the pantry shelves.
Brilliant.
And then there's a shelf at the bottom that says, check here before shopping. And it's just got like, you know, coconut milks and coconut water and soda water and all that stuff that, you know, doesn't need to go off. But I feel like everything else can be so hidden away in the shelves that if you don't have it all in one area, you don't know what's going to go. I love that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to relabel my shelves.
I am like proud for you.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, Jake was really like, why'd you put labels on it? And I was like, because I wanted to.
Yeah.
He's like,
Oh my god.
but we already knew. I'm like, shut It made me feel good. It looks good.
I made the best.
Stop.
I can see it so clearly.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I have one last one.
Mhm.
Do you have any more for me?
I have just for buying or selling secondhand, mainly clothing, accessories, and stuff
yes,
like that.
you know about so many. All right. hit
Yeah.
me.
So the main one is Depop. I have a love-hate relationship with Depop.
Yeah.
It is good in essence, but the app is honestly a little bit glitchy. It's hard
Oh.
if you're uploading something. Sometimes it's a bit tricky. So
Tricky how?
if you upload a photo and then you put in the description, it just doesn't load. But that's if you're selling. So if you're selling,
Okay.
it can be a little bit more time consuming. If you're buying, I think it's great.
Yeah.
Buying is probably better because then you don't have the seller fees.
Oh,
So
the actual fees.
they take fees, they take a percentage. I can't remember exactly how much it is, but say you sell something for $20 and then Depop takes a fee and then you have shipping as well. It's a lot. So if
Yeah.
you're listing things, you definitely need to calculate shipping costs and fee costs.
Right. Because it won't be $20 that you get.
No, exactly. So I love buying. Like I've bought 3 pairs of Converse from them, brand
Awesome.
new,
Yeah.
$60. Retail price is $120. So
Nice.
great. The other thing that's a bit is that it's inundated with people listing things with hashtags that are not relevant, but they want it to be
no.
seen.
Yeah.
So you can find, say you're looking for a fluffy jumper, you'll find slippers. And you're like,
because they've also hashtagged
fluffy jumper. Yeah, and you're like, what the frick? So I think there's
Ugh.
definitely room for improvement, but if you can get past that stuff, the more you interact with the app, the more you like things and stuff, it
Right.
suggests similar things.
Oh, okay.
So for example, like when I was looking for a dress for a friend's wedding, I went on there a few weeks beforehand and started looking through particular brands that I liked or,
Yeah.
you know, particular colors that I wanted or styles and just liked a whole bunch of things. And the dress that I bought in the end was actually something that was suggested to me.
Oh, because you've
So-
done that previously, so
Yeah.
you kind of learn what you like.
Exactly. And it was a brand new item with tags on that I'd wanted originally anyway.
Oh.
But I didn't pay full price. I just got it technically secondhand, but not really because it was still new.
Yeah.
So I think if you, it's like thrifting or op shopping, you know, if you can sift through the junk, you'll find gems.
Yeah.
So
the online
it
version
is.
of that.
Yeah, and there's actually other apps. There's Carousel and Poshmark. I downloaded them again recently just to see how they compare to Depop, and I definitely think Depop's the better one.
Yeah.
It's got a lot more users, which means there's a lot more products.
Yeah, sure. And I
Um,
guess in Australia, with less people,
Yeah,
Like,
and I
not
think
always adopted.
no, that's right. I think Poshmark's really popular overseas,
Yeah.
but in Australia there wasn't too much, and Carousel I think is still very early beginnings as well. So Depop for now, and of course you've got Facebook Marketplace and eBay. It's just a
Yes.
matter of sifting through the stuff.
Right. I'll hit you with my last one. It is brilliant,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not here yet.
Okay.
I've got friends in the UK that have used it and love it, and they're not even like necessarily eco-friendly minded. It's just this is really good,
Okay.
and it is coming to Australia. I saw on a website.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's called Too Good to Go.
Uh-huh.
Imagine you're a business. This is Mikaela's Bakery. Oh no, you've got too many things to sell. You can list those things on Too Good to Go,
Oh.
and people can then pick things up for a discounted price.
Oh, so it's like the end of day sale at the bakery, but instead of actually having to go there first, you can see, ooh, they've got 20 cupcakes. I definitely need 20 cupcakes, and you can.
Look, if they're $1,
Mm-hmm.
then you kind of need $20.
I agree.
So what do they say? Let's sound official. All right, Too Good to Go. It's a free app, and they say our mission is to make sure good food gets eaten, not wasted. Every day, delicious fresh food goes to waste at cafes, restaurants, hotels, shops, and manufacturers just because it hasn't sold on time. The Too Good to Go app lets customers buy and collect magic bags of this food at a great price directly from businesses. So far, they've saved over 188 million meals.
Holy moly.
They're a certified B Corp. So far, they're in a lot of Europe, the UK, the USA, and they are coming to Australia. I'm so excited
That's
about that.
awesome.
And even in Cornwall, so like I'm from Cornwall, most of my friends are there. Like if you're in London, I'm sure you're inundated with these things. But even in Cornwall,
They have
where
it.
like there are more cows than people, they have it. And my friend was able to get like a discounted like this magic bag, and it had like croissants and like pain au chocolat and like bread and bagels and all of this stuff in it. And like I can just imagine Baker's Delight I like their A-frame signs somewhat annoy me, where they say like if it's not sold today, it's not sold.
Yeah, because it's like, well, what a waste. But mind you, I had a friend in high school who worked at Baker's Delight, and she always used to come to school the next day with bags of bread. But then I feel like it could be also going to people in need. I don't know what their background is. I don't know what they do, but yeah.
True. Hopefully they do. Hopefully it's all given to charities like Oz Harvest
Yeah.
and things that will distribute it. But if you are always making to a point where
Too
like
much.
it's too much, then
Reassess.
it'll be reassess, make less. And if you accidentally make too many, then Too Good To Go is here to help you. And it means that you can hopefully still make a bit of money from it, or at least not make a loss.
Yeah.
And so many people, myself included, will use that every single day to get discounted croissants.
That's so good.
All the time.
It sounds similar to Forkful, but I don't think Forkful was an app yet. I think it was just an online website. I think I talked about it in our food waste app.
It rings a bell.
Anyway, we don't need to talk about that again. You can just go listen to our episode if you have not already. That is food waste. I can't remember the exact title, but
I can tell you which. No, I can't because I cleared Trello.
I can tell you on Spotify.
Nice.
Beep boop boop doop. Easy Ways to Reduce Your Food Waste, episode 8.
There we go.
Released on the 28th of September, 2022.
Nice. So if you do not know about Forkful, like me, you can go back to episode 8.
Listen to me
and remind yourself. I listen.
That's alright.
You're just too pretty. I'm thinking about how.
I'm just looking at my comfy dressing gown.
You're getting very jealous. Yeah, it's a very comfy looking dressing gown.
Beautiful.
That's it. That is, is that 6?
I think that is 6.
Yeah, that's 6 brilliant apps that you guys can download right now. Almost. If you're in the UK, download Too Good To Go. If you're in Australia, just wait. We will let you know. That is your sign to follow us on Instagram, because we will let you know when it's released, and you can get discounted pain au chocolat all day long. Or at least
croissants
at the end of the day.
Well, thanks everyone so much for listening. I should know this off by heart, but I don't. If you enjoyed today's show, we would love it if you could leave us a review wherever you're listening to this podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at greengirls.podcast. You can follow Collie on Instagram at BeKindCoco, and myself at Mikaela Hoffman or at RetroKitty Vintage, which is now live. Sort of, soft launch.
It's live.
I've posted things, but you can't buy things yet. That's okay. If you would like to support us, you can join our Patreon. You can receive extra rambly episodes ad-free. And that is all, folks. Look out for new episodes every other Wednesday, because on Wednesdays we podcast. And until next time, it doesn't matter if you take it slow. It matters that you take a step.
Yay.
Bye!
Bye!